In the back of my mind, I killed you. Written by Toxic Pineapple. Read by Arashi. Throughout all of Kaede's nightmares across different nights, one thing always stays consistent. One event always remains unchanging. No matter what is happening, no matter who is there or what the setting is, Rantaro always dies. Rantaro always dies, and no matter what, Kaede is the one to kill him. Sometimes it's with the shot put. Actually, often it's with the shot put, which always seems to slip right past her fingertips if she even starts to slack her grip, falling and falling until it hits Rantaro's head with a sickening crunch. She's killed them differently before, though, in her nightmares, sometimes directly with a gun or a knife, or sometimes her shots will miss and Tsumugi will land them for her. Sometimes she'll use poison and watch him cough to death, face turning blue and purple. Sometimes all she has to do is reach right into his chest and through his ribs until she can curl her fingers around his warm, bleeding heart. But he always dies, no matter the specifics of it, and every time she kills him, Rantaro stares up into her eyes with an unwavering smile, eyes warm and soft and trusting, in the way they get early in the morning before Kaede's even fully woken up. He dies like that, expression locked onto his face, even as his skin goes gray and cold, even as blood continues to stain Kaede's hands darker and darker magenta. Tonight, Kaede kills him through the library vent, then opens her eyes and slits his throat, then opens her eyes and stabs him through with a spear. She listens to his voice rasp as he tries to say her name, blood spilling from between his lips. And when Rantaro falls to the ground, still, Kaede wakes up with a loud gasp and screams, then screams again, so loudly and terribly that it seems to shred her vocal cords. Beneath her screams, Kaede can feel hot tears running down her face. Her legs tangle in her covers as she tries to thrash, hands flying around before eventually settling around her own throat. Each scream gets weaker and weaker before her own ears. But Kaede doesn't stop, sometimes just wailing incoherently, other times shouting Rantaro's name, as if that would fix it, as if that would bring him back to life. She can still see the way he looked on the ground, eyes half open, curled, over in a pool of his own blood, so mild and unsuspecting, so gentle, even in death. Right now, Kaede can't see anything, either for her tears or for the darkness, so the image just flashes against her eyelids, over and over and over. Her head knocks against hardwood, and stars are painted over the image of Rantaro's corpse. Her nails dig into her throat so badly that it starts to burn. The covers seem to constrict around her, like the throat of a snake, squeezing tighter and tighter the more Kaede kicks out. She screams again, but this time it's more of a sob, more plea to the universe, to Rantaro, to live, even though that's impossible, even though she killed him, even though she saw his body, head split open, blood soaking into the carpet in the library. Kaede can barely hear anything beneath her own screams, can only feel that people are running around her from the vibrations in the ground beneath her cot. She continues to thrash and wail, even as a door opens and slams shut, even as voices join the air around her. Familiar voices, even, but Kaede doesn't pay them any heed, twitching away from the sounds and bringing her hands from her neck to her ears. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's a killer. Rantaro is dead. She watched him die with her own eyes, carved his skull in herself. Kaede! I'm here. Large, familiar calloused hands wrap around her wrists and pull them away from her head. Kaede gasps at the feeling, because she knows who those hands, that voice, belong to. But she can't. She knows it's not. Even so, her eyes open, and her legs stop kicking, and she breathes in strangled and exhales like she's choking on her own tongue, staring out through tear-soaked lashes until she can meet Rantaro's green eyes, which hover somewhere above her, creased with concern. I'm here. I'm here. Rantaro repeats, dragging her hands down and releasing them, curling his arms around her shoulders instead. It's okay. It's okay, Kaede. I'm right here. Kaede's voice breaks right in the middle. Hurts to use, probably from all the screaming. She can't imagine how awful her hands look right now, covered in blood. Hers, his. It doesn't matter at this point. But she doesn't stop herself from reaching up to clutch at the back of his shirt, selfishly looking for some kind of stability, even if she knows. No, you're dead. I saw you die. I saw you. I killed you. Rantaro. I can't. No, you didn't. Rantaro insists, voice low and soothing, as he draws her nearer. Kaede shudders at the feeling, but allows it, buries her face in his shoulder, and breathes in the familiar smell of his body wash. Stupid boy stuff, but she likes it on Rantaro. You didn't kill me, Kaede. I'm right here. I'm alive. I'm okay. He repeats these words like a mantra, gentle but firm and practiced, as though he's done so before, time and time again. Somewhere, in the part of Kaede's brain that's still coherent, she knows that she has. The rest of her can only cling to him, legs coming up to hook around his back, as another shudder runs through her, sobs tearing their way out of her throat once again. No! Kaede whimpers, screwing her eyes shut against his shirt. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Rantaro. I didn't mean to. I didn't know it was you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Rantaro squeezes her close, making a sort of sound in the back of his throat, like it hurts him. Kaede stiffens hearing it, and Rantaro seems to buffer for a moment before he leans back in close, speaking quickly. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Rantaro murmurs right into her ear, warm breath ghosting over her skin. It's okay. I forgive you. I'm alive, Kaede. We're both alive. And it's okay. I forgive you. Full stop. There's not even an ounce of hesitation in Rantaro's voice. And still, Kaede sobs again, pushing her forehead back against the crook of his neck. Rantaro shushes her, both hands rubbing her back, arms curled around her, strong but tender, like he loves her. It's worse if he loves her. Even if Kaede loves him so badly it hurts in her chest. Because she killed him. Because she killed him. She watched him die, and she almost got away with it too. It doesn't matter who dealt the finishing blow, or whether it was permanent or not. Kaede still killed him. She feels too weak to put all of that into words, though, and the same part of Kaede that knows they've done this before, knows those words would be familiar to Rantaro, just as these are. His body is tense, his voice thick with emotions, as he continues to murmur into her ear, but Kaede could feel the familiarity of his motions, even his words. They've had this conversation time and time again. Kaede has killed him, time and time again. And every time, Rantaro forgives her. Every time, he's here. It's not fair. Kaede doesn't deserve it. Doesn't deserve him. But Rantaro takes her face after a while and guides it out of his shoulder, turning her head and resting her ear against his chest, where she can hear his heartbeat, a little fast, but ultimately steady, and the irrefutable evidence that Rantaro is very much alive makes relief crash against her like a tidal wave. Kaede holds him tighter, feels Rantaro's lips ghost her hair. He's live, and she doesn't deserve him. But he's here, and Kaede doesn't want him to leave. Couldn't bear it if he left. I'm sorry, Kaede says again. I know. I forgive you. Rantaro responds, automatically, and Kaede manages a cracked laugh, gripping his shirt a bit tighter. Not, I mean, yeah, for killing you, but... Kaede sniffles, starting to feel the tremors wear off, even as her stomach churns with guilt, even as tears pour down her face. For this, for bothering you, I'm sorry. You have enough going on without having to deal with all this. Rantaro sighs, and Kaede feels it because she's leaned into his chest. He tuts a little, and his lips brush the crown of her head again. He murmurs, Sure I do. We all do. But out of everything I have to deal with, I have to say, his fingers card through her hair, slow and gentle. Kaede shivers at the feeling. You definitely make up for it the most with the amount of joy you bring into my life. In Kaede's opinion, the fact that she may or may not bring joy into his life is kind of cancelled out by the fact that she took it from him 3 days after they met. On the other hand, Rantaro just sounds so genuine. Kaede lets out another hiccuping sob and can't help nodding, squeezing him closer. And Rantaro obliges, bringing Kaede up to rest in his lap and burrowing his face into her neck. The new position forces her to lift her head, and the cool air hitting her tear-soaked face is a little unpleasant, but the ticklish feeling of Rantaro's lips pressed against the crook of her neck more than makes up for it. Kaede lets out a few involuntary giggle sobs, kicking the sheets off her legs properly in order to wrap them around his waist. She hugs his shoulders, too, threading her fingers through his soft curls to feel it dry and unmatted with blood. Just soft and clean. No injuries in sight. Rantaro kisses her, then kisses her again and murmurs, I'm okay. We're okay, Kaede. He shifts his head to peer out at her with one teary green eye, and Kaede feels her heart ache at the knowledge she caused that. We're both alive, and it's okay. Sniffling, Kaede nods. She tilts her head down to kiss him on the cheek, then moves to kiss him on the neck in turn, continuing to run her hands through his hair over and over, a soothing, repetitive motion. You're alive, Kaede repeats under her breath. She breathes in deep, then lets it out, slumping into his chest. Rantaro's arms tighten around her. I love you. I'm glad you're alive. Another apology for almost killing him almost makes its way out of her lips, but she manages to keep it in. That one she can give the next time she freaks out like this, perhaps. Rantaro hums again, and Kaede feels it through his chest. His voice is low. It's comforting. I love you, and I am too, he mumbles. Believe me, would not trade this for being dead. Another giggle breaks out of Kaede. What a stupid thing to say, but, well, it's just silly. Rantaro is just silly sometimes. It's relieving to hear. Only someone living could make a joke like that, after all.